before y'all come at me in the comments, make sure you watch the entire video because I think that this can be a really good and productive conversation. Hey y'all, it's your girl Tynisha Renee. Welcome back to TynishaTalks, where I like to speak my mind and I love when y'all speak back. So today we're gonna have a conversation that might rub some people the wrong way, but as always, y'all know I'm here for difficult conversations because those be the best ones. So let's get into it. I posted the following status on Facebook, and as you can imagine, it got some mixed responses. It reads, having no kids is a flex when you're not mentally, emotionally, and financially able to support them. If more people waited, we wouldn't be battling so many generational curses, end quote. So this whole no kids flex, or people with no kids versus people who have kids, this whole thing has become increasingly popular on social media. And one of the reasons why I made this status is because I'm tired of society pressuring women to have children before they're ready because of our biological clocks. So before we dive into the whole topic of generational curses, having kids before you're ready, I do want to actually break down what the status meant because it seems to have gotten misconstrued. When I say flex, I see it as something to be proud of, right? I don't necessarily see it as, in this case, saying that you're better than other people because you don't have kids. I'm also not saying that being childless is a flex. Well, let me be clear. I do love my freedom child, okay? I really do appreciate the fact that I don't have to be responsible for another being. I get to live the way that I want to live. But at the same time, children are great too. They're beautiful. I think that they are gifts. But I said what I said and I stand on what I said, okay? I do feel like acknowledging that you have work to do and choosing to do so before you have a child is a flex because you're taking an active stance against generational curses. Before we move on, just to clarify what I mean by generational curses, I see them as being the consequences of what your ancestors did or did not do, and these consequences are being passed down to later generations. Some of the common ones would be addictions, poverty, lack of financial literacy, lack of examples of a healthy relationship, inability to express emotion, trust issues, so on and so forth. I think that all of us can identify at least one curse. You can literally see how that one thing is impacting so many other people. Full moment of transparency. Child, there's a lot. There are lots of generational curses that are being passed down in my family. And from what I can see, the reason why we're not breaking this cycle is because no one, from what I can see, is really taking the time to do the shadow work. Really being honest with themselves, digging deep inside to figure out what they're repressing and seeing how these traumas have impacted them. Now, it's really, really easy for someone to point the finger at someone and say, you did this, and this is how it made me feel. It's another thing to say, you did this is how it made me feel, and this is how it's impacting the relationships that I have. But it's a whole nother level of accountability for someone to say, these are the things that have happened, this is how it's impacted me, and these are the steps that I'm going to take to fix it. And these are things that I may need to work on before I jump into a relationship, or in this case, before I have children. I will always commend someone who has the ability to step outside of themselves and make a selfless decision like that in attempts to avoid negatively impacting someone else. And that is where the no kids flex comes from. Now, I know that I still have a whole lot that I need to work on, child, okay? I can have a conversation with someone and it'll trigger me. And then I'll sit down and reflect on why I got triggered that way. And I'm able to connect it to something that's being passed down in my family. And this is largely why I personally do not have children yet. And I'm not gonna lie, it is tough because you do get a lot of pressure to have children once you hit your mid to late 20s. So I'm definitely hearing all of that now. For me, my biggest fear is for my children to grow up and speak on me the same way that some of my relatives speak on their parents. That's just what it is. I want to be able to pass on knowledge, wealth, and fundamental values to my children, not burden and trauma. Some people did make a valid point that having a child changes you or it forces you to get your stuff together. And I get that, but I don't want to have to play catch up when my child is here, when I could have done a lot of work before my child was born. You know, ideally, I would like to feel more confidence in my mothering abilities. This sounds so weird even saying that, like actually thinking about giving birth and becoming a mom, I'm like, bro, I am maturing. Like these are not even conversations that I really had, but it's like the things that I'm thinking about. You know, I just want to be very diligent about not passing on these things that have continuously gone on in my family. And when I do have a child, I feel like my child will be planned. You know, life happens. I know it's a lot of uh-oh babies, but I really think that my baby is going to be planned. And so again, that just gives me that time to really work on myself before I have a child. So I don't know, I hope that makes sense. You know, there were some people who got offended by it, both men and women. And I know that I'm a person sometimes that sees things very black and white, and that's something that I am actively working on. But a lot of times I like to see the logic in things instead of acting on emotion. And I'm like, what is there to debate here? Who is going to debate that it's not a good idea to work on yourself before you have a child? But I don't know, let me know. Am I being too judgmental? Am I being too hard on myself? Do I have unrealistic expectations? I really would like to know what you guys' thoughts are. But ultimately, that is what I meant when I said that it is a flex to be able to say that you waited to have children until you are ready to fully support them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Was this post insensitive? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And if you feel comfortable, what are some of the generational curses that you see are being passed down in your family? I'm really curious to know if there is any commonalities between my experiences and yours, and then also what steps you feel like you're taking or you have taken to overcome them generational curses. Well, child, I know this is a touchy topic and this is only scratching the surface. So again, let me know what y'all think. But I'm about to go ahead and wrap this up. It's actually 3:30 in the morning, child. I'm sleepy. If you are not already subscribed to the channel and you like what you saw today, feel free to hit that red subscribe button. It is free 99. I feel like I got some dope content. I mean, do y'all think I got dope content? I think I do. Feel free to join the fam, support your girl, and we always keep it real. This is a safe space for us to have interactive discussion. So you are always welcome here. All right, y'all, so I'm hopping off this. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, and until next time, y'all, bye.